2011, a man in Michigan was arrested for checking his email. He wasn't hacking a bank, he wasn't stealing identities, he wasn't downloading illegal files. He was just using someone's Wi-Fi, and that one click got him charged with a felony that could have sent him to prison for 5 years. His life was turned upside down. His name was dragged through the media, all because he did something millions of Americans do every single day. You might be doing it right now, and you have no idea you're breaking the law. By the end of this video, you'll understand a hidden legal danger that could cost you your freedom, your money, and your future. This isn't a conspiracy theory, this is federal law. Stay with me. His name was Sam Peterson, 23 years old, married, 2 kids. He'd just moved to a small town outside Detroit for a new job. It was a Tuesday morning around 7 a.m. He had an important work meeting at 9. But his home internet wasn't set up yet. So he did what most of us would do. He drove to a nearby coffee shop to use their Wi-Fi. Except when he got there, the shop wasn't open yet. It was 7:15. They opened at 8. He had 45 minutes to kill. So he stayed in his car, opened his laptop, and clicked on his Wi-Fi settings. He saw a few networks: coffee shop guest locked password protected, Linksys home open no password, ATT Wi-Fi 5G locked. He clicked on Linksys home. It connected instantly. He opened his email, responded to a few messages, checked his calendar, scrolled Facebook for a couple minutes. Nothing unusual, nothing illegal, at least that's what he thought. 10 minutes later, he noticed a car pull up behind him. It was a police officer. Sam rolled down his window. The officer asked, "What are you doing here?" Sam explained, "Just waiting for the coffee shop to open, using the Wi-Fi to catch up on work." The officer nodded, then asked, "Whose Wi-Fi are you using?" Sam said, "I don't know, it was open, no password." The officer looked at the laptop, looked back at Sam, and said something that would change his life. "Step out of the vehicle. You're under arrest." Sam was taken to the station, booked, fingerprinted, and charged with unauthorized access to a computer network, a felony under Michigan law. Maximum penalty, 5 years in state prison for using Wi-Fi. His lawyer later told him, "You connected to a private network without permission. Technically, that's illegal." Sam couldn't believe it, but there was no password, he said. The lawyer replied, "Doesn't matter. It wasn't yours. You didn't have permission." Now, before we go any further, you're probably thinking one of 2 things right now. Either, "That's insane, that can't be real," or "Wait, I've done that before." Both reactions are valid. Because what happened to Sam isn't just some random, isolated case. It's the result of a federal law that's been on the books for almost 40 years. A law that was written before most people even knew what the internet was, and it's still being used to prosecute people today. Let me show you exactly how this law works and why it's more dangerous than you think. 1986, Ronald Reagan is president. The internet as we know it doesn't exist yet. There's no Google, no Facebook, no Wi-Fi. Most people have never even heard the word hacker. But the government is worried, because a few months earlier, a group of teenage hackers broke into military and corporate computer systems. It made national news. Congress panicked, and so they passed a new law, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, also known as the CFAA. The goal was simple: punish people who break into computer systems without authorization. Makes sense, right? If someone hacks into a bank, they should face consequences. If someone steals sensitive data, they should be prosecuted. No one disagreed with that. But here's the problem. The law uses 2 key phrases: without authorization and exceeds authorized access. Sounds clear, right? Wrong, because the law never clearly defines what those terms mean. And that vagueness, that's where the danger lives. Over the years, prosecutors have interpreted these phrases in wildly different ways. Some say without authorization means breaking into a system with malicious intent. Others say it means accessing any system you're not explicitly allowed to use, even if there's no lock, even if there's no password, even if you have no idea you're doing anything wrong. And this isn't theoretical. People have been prosecuted under the CFAA for sharing a Netflix password, violating a website's terms of service, using a work computer for personal emails, and yes, connecting to someone's open Wi-Fi. The law is so broad, legal experts have called it dangerously vague. because it gives prosecutors almost unlimited power to decide what counts as unauthorized access. And once you're charged, you're facing federal felony charges. That means up to 10 years in prison, hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines, a permanent criminal record, loss of job opportunities, damage to your reputation, all because you clicked connect on the wrong Wi-Fi network. Now here's where this gets even more disturbing, because it's not just federal law. Almost every state has its own version of this law, and some of them are even harsher. Let me show you what I mean. Here's the thing about American law. Federal law is just the beginning. Every state has its own computer crime statutes, and they vary wildly. Let me give you some examples. In Michigan, where Sam was arrested, the law is called unauthorized access to a computer system. It's a felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison, and it specifically includes accessing someone's Wi-Fi network without permission, even if there's no password. In Florida, it's the Computer Crimes Act. Under Florida law, unauthorized access to a computer network is a third-degree felony. That means up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. And Florida courts have ruled an open Wi-Fi network is still private property. Accessing it without permission is illegal. In California, home of Silicon Valley, the law is Penal Code 502. It's one of the strictest computer crime laws in the country. Unauthorized access can result in up to 3 years in prison, fines up to $10,000, civil penalties where victims can sue you for damages. And here's the kicker. California courts have ruled that violating a website's terms of service can count as unauthorized access. That means if you lie about your age on a website, technically illegal. If you use a fake name on social media, technically illegal. If you share your HBO Max password, technically illegal. In New Jersey, the law is even broader. The Computer Criminal Activity Statute makes it illegal to access any computer network, or database without authorization. And New Jersey prosecutors have used this law to charge people for using a work computer to check personal email, accessing a shared Google Drive without explicit permission, and yes, using someone's open Wi-Fi. Punishment up to 18 months in prison for a fourth-degree offense. Up to 10 years for a second-degree offense if you accessed sensitive data. See the problem? There's no consistency. What's legal in one state might be a felony in another, and most people have no idea which laws apply to them. Because let's be honest, who reads the computer crime statutes of their state? Almost nobody. But ignorance of the law is not a defense. If you're charged, saying "I didn't know" won't save you. So at this point, you might be wondering, has anyone actually gone to prison for this? Or is this just a law that's on the books but never enforced? Let me tell you about some cases that'll make your blood run cold. 2007, Sparta, Michigan. A man pulls into the parking lot of a local cafe early in the morning. The cafe isn't open yet, but their Wi-Fi signal is broadcasting. He connects, checks his email. A neighbor sees him sitting there, thinks it's suspicious, calls the police. Police arrive, they run his information. No warrants, no criminal history. But they arrest him anyway, charge him with fraudulent access to a computer network. He's convicted, sentenced to 40 hours of community service and a fine. But more importantly, he now has a criminal record for using Wi-Fi outside a cafe. 2005, Tampa, Florida. A man is sitting in his car outside his own house. He's using his laptop. Police drive by, they see him, they run his plates, everything checks out. But they notice he's on a laptop. They ask what he's doing. He says, using Wi-Fi. They ask, whose Wi-Fi? He says, I don't know, it's open. Turns out, he was using his neighbor's Wi-Fi. The neighbor hadn't password protected their network. But the neighbor also hadn't given him permission. Police arrested him, charged him under Florida's Computer Crimes Act. He pled guilty to avoid trial, paid a fine, got probation, and now he's a convicted cybercriminal for borrowing Wi-Fi. This case is different, but it shows just how dangerous the CFAA can be. Aaron Swartz was a 26-year-old programmer and activist. He was a genius, co-creator of Reddit. He believed information should be free. In 2011, he accessed MIT's network and downloaded millions of academic journal articles from a database called JSTOR. He didn't sell them. He didn't profit. He planned to release them publicly because he believed academic research should be accessible to everyone. MIT and JSTOR noticed, they caught him, and federal prosecutors charged him under the CFAA. The charges 3 felony counts. Maximum sentence, 35 years in federal prison, plus $1 million in fines. For downloading academic articles. Aaron fought the charges, but the pressure was overwhelming. The prosecutors refused to negotiate. They wanted to make an example of him. On January 11, 2013, Aaron Swartz took his own life. He was 26 years old. His death sparked outrage. His family blamed prosecutorial overreach. Legal experts called the CFAA a weapon of mass prosecution, and Congress introduced, but never passed, a bill called Aaron's Law to reform the CFAA. But the law still stands, unchanged, and prosecutors still use it the same way. These cases aren't anomalies. They're examples of a deeply flawed legal system. A system where the laws haven't caught up with technology, where everyday actions can be twisted into felonies. So what does this mean for you? What can you actually do to protect yourself? Let me break it down. All right, let's get practical. Here's exactly what you need to know to avoid becoming the next headline. Just because a Wi-Fi network doesn't have a password doesn't mean it's legal for you to use. If it's not clearly labeled public or guest, don't connect. It could be someone's home network. It could be a business network that's misconfigured. Either way, you don't have permission, and without permission, you're technically breaking the law. Stick to networks that are clearly intended for public use. Coffee shops with guest Wi-Fi, libraries, airports, hotels, public parks with city-provided Wi-Fi. These places have implied consent, meaning by offering Wi-Fi to customers or visitors, they're giving you permission to use it. That's legal, that's safe. When in doubt, ask. Walk into the business, ask an employee, is your Wi-Fi available for customers? Get verbal permission. It takes 10 seconds, and it could save you from a felony charge. Here's a big one. Don't sit in your car outside someone's house or business using their Wi-Fi, even if it's open. Why? Because it looks suspicious. Neighbors will notice, they'll call the police, and police will assume you're doing something illegal, even if you're just checking email. It's not worth the risk. If you frequently use public Wi-Fi, invest in a VPN, a virtual private network. A VPN encrypts your internet traffic. It hides what you're doing online, and it protects you from hackers on public networks. It won't make illegal access legal, but it adds a layer of security and privacy. Popular options include NordVPN, ExpressVPN, Surfshark. Most cost around $5 to $10 a month, small price for peace of mind. Here's the flip side. If you have Wi-Fi at home, password protect it. Use WPA3 or WPA2 encryption, create a strong password. Why? Because if someone uses your open network to commit a crime, you could be held responsible. Your IP address will be traced, police will show up at your door, and you'll have to prove it wasn't you. Don't give anyone that opportunity. Lock your network. If you have kids, make sure they understand this. Teens and young adults are the most likely to casually connect to open networks. They don't think about the legal consequences. Teach them, just because you can connect doesn't mean you should. One conversation could save them from a criminal record. Now, you might be thinking, this is insane. How is this still legal? And you're right, it is insane. So why hasn't the law changed? Let me explain the bigger picture. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act is almost 40 years old. Technology has changed, the internet has changed, society has changed. But the law still the same. Why? 3 reasons. Prosecutors love the CFAA. Why? Because it's vague. That vagueness gives them power. They can interpret it however they want. They can charge people with felonies for things that don't feel like crimes. And they can use the threat of decades in prison to force plea deals. Law enforcement agencies have lobbied against reforming the CFAA because they don't want to lose that power. Let's be blunt. Most members of Congress don't understand how the internet works. During congressional hearings, you'll hear questions like, does Facebook use email? How does Wi-Fi get into the phone? These are the people writing internet laws. They don't use the technology the way normal people do, so they don't see the problem. After Aaron Swartz died, there was a push to reform the CFAA. A bill called Aaron's Law was introduced. It would have narrowed the definition of unauthorized access. It would have prevented prosecutors from using the law so broadly. But it never passed. Why? Because reforming a hacking law is politically risky. No politician wants to be accused of being soft on cybercrime. So the bill died, and the CFAA remains unchanged. Look, I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to wake you up. Because the truth is this: we live in a world where technology moves faster than the law, where things that feel harmless can have life-altering consequences, where clicking connect on the wrong Wi-Fi network can turn you into a felon. That's not justice, that's not fairness, but it is reality, and the only way to protect yourself is to know the law. So here's what I want you to remember. Never assume open Wi-Fi is legal. Only use networks you have clear permission to use. When in doubt, ask. Secure your own network. Educate your family. And most importantly, know your rights. Because ignorance won't protect you, but knowledge will. If this video opened your eyes, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Because every week, I'm breaking down hidden American laws that could affect your life. Laws about your job, your privacy, your freedom. Laws that most people have no idea exist. Drop a comment right now. Have you ever connected to someone else's Wi-Fi? Did you know it could be illegal? Let's talk about it. And if you want to go deeper, check out the next video where I break down the law that lets police seize your cash without ever charging you with a crime. It's called civil asset forfeiture, and it's even more disturbing than this. I'll see you there. Stay informed, stay protected, and never stop questioning the system. I'll see you in the next one.